So just the dust that's moving through here. Visibility stayed for the most part okay for the cars. We're right off of SR 347, so cars have been moving by here without any problems. But when that dust wall did move through, it was kind of hard to see too far ahead of us, but nothing too bad. The dust moved in and out kind of rather quickly. But now we're watching as those darker skies come through, and it's really just the wind now that's affecting anyone who's out in this area. But no rain yet, so we'll watch and see if any of those gray skies bring any water this way. Troy?
Gabby, that drivers were probably maybe in a little bit of a panic mode there, watching some of that dust move through.
It wasn't too bad because, nothing like we've seen the worst of it before, but it definitely was kind of thick. But again, we're right off of this dirt patch right here, so some of that dust was just coming through. But again, visibility, you can still see in front of you. It wasn't anything that was where people had to pull off to the side of the road. But it did come through. It was noticeable. But again, everything was safe out here. Nothing that really impacted people from driving.
And it was so interesting. If we could put those two shots up again where we have Gabby in one area and that wall of dust in the other. As we're talking to you, so there you are, you're south of the valley, correct? It looks like it's all clear where you are, but that wall of dust is moving into now the southern reaches of the valley at the same time. So it's almost like that downdraft came down, blew all that dust out away from where you are, Gabby, and now it's moving in.
Yeah, and it moved out of here pretty quickly. I would say within about 30 minutes. We saw it coming from the south, kind of worked its way this way, and then up and out towards that way. So about 30 minutes or so, it was kind of all tannish, hazy around us. Nothing too crazy, but it's kind of cool to see one of the first dust storms in this part of the valley in a while.
It is, yeah, because we know that soon to follow after the dust storm is usually rain. So that's what we get excited about. We have to get a little dirty first, and then we get that rain to come in. I think it's cool when we take Lindsay's radar shot, because then we can really see the perspective and exactly where the location is of that dust storm moving into the valley. All right, Gabby, thank you so much. We will check back in with you in a little bit. But we want to go now over to meteorologist Lindsay Riley. Lindsay, can you just kind of give us some perspective on exactly where that dust storm is right now and where it's headed?
Yes, it is moving north, so it has passed by Gabby. You saw the visibility was pretty good there. Still breezy. We will be seeing gusts within this dust storm and even behind it in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range. Now, that area of dust, that originated all the way back to the south in Maricopa. It's moving northward, so it's around Sun Lakes, eventually hitting South Mountain in the Ahwatukee area. And now we're getting reports of it out near Chandler Fashion Square and also Mesa Gateway. So it's going to continue lifting to the north. We have a brand new dust storm advisory that was just issued a couple of minutes ago, and this goes for 45 minutes. So this could bring dust into downtown Phoenix, Tempe, Chandler, Gilbert, Mesa, all areas within this tan box here. Again, that wall of dust moving northward at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. We'll be feeling wind gusts in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range. And on top of that, the visibility has gone down compared to an hour ago when it was first issued. It was at about 3 mile visibility, and now it's dropped down to 1 mile. So worst of it's going to be right now around Mesa Gateway, Chandler Fashion Square, and South Mountain. But as it continues pushing northward, heads up if you're in downtown Phoenix, Tempe, Tempe Town Lake area, the US 60, Gilbert, and even parts of Mesa. We'll be getting that closer to 5:30, 5:45. So that's going to be the time frame for it. If you look to the south, you're going to see that area of dust. Now, what's causing the dust? The thunderstorms. And as of right now, those thunderstorms are still far away. So the rain is not imminent behind this wall of dust. Those thunderstorms are still down close to Casa Grand and the I-8. You can see some of those outflow boundaries moving in. That's what kicked up that wall of dust. But for the most part, the rain is not imminent for us. This is a closer look. Couple very isolated cells. Could see a couple raindrops near Santan Valley, but you can see how small those are. But as we know with the monsoon, that can change very quickly. Yesterday, we saw a brand new storm pulse up in 10 minutes or less. So we'll continue to monitor monitor this for the valley, because as these outflows cross the valley, if they interact with one another, that provides the lift to trigger a brand new storm. And you can actually see that outflow boundary now approaching South Mountain. So as that lifts over South Mountain, we could see a brand new storm. But currently, we're not tracking a whole lot of rain. It's more about the dust. Further to the north, Black Canyon City, Prescott area, Williams seeing some thunderstorms right now, and then out near the White Mountains as well. In the valley itself, we do have storm chances tonight, so don't stand down. We have the dust right now. A lot of times that can be a precursor for storms down the line. Nothing's too close to us right now, but we could see new storms develop on those outflow boundaries, and we also could see additional storms till about 10 p.m. tonight. So they're not necessarily going to die down after sunset tonight. Our window of opportunity is for about the next 5 hours to see some storms across the valley.
This is so interesting. So we've got your picture up right now. Can you go back to those outflows? Because you can almost see the dust, right? Going over like right over South Mountain, the Ahwatukee area. So in the bottom right of your screen, you actually see our pictures from Sky 12 of the dust. And so that's what this is. That's what we're looking at right now,
yes.
Right?
And this outflow boundary here, that originated from those thunderstorms all the way down in Casa Grand. So that traveled a very far distance, several miles, and now is lifting to the north. And that's the leading edge of that dust storm. So if you're watching us from Ahwatukee, South Mountain area, your visibility is likely dropping. And again, that's going down to about 1 mile. So it has brought in more dust because it started off with 3-mile visibility, and now it's down to 1 mile. And this dust storm advisory goes for about another 45 minutes. And this is going to impact a good portion of the valley: Gilbert, Chandler, parts of Queen Creek, Apache Junction, Mesa, Tempe, and even downtown Phoenix between now and 5:45.
Yeah, and Lindsay, Troy brought this up a little bit ago about how the early part of the season in our monsoon, we get the potential for these really big dust storms first.
Yes.
Before the rain arrives. Can you just go more into why that is?
Yeah, it's been so dry. I mean, April, May, and June are our 3 driest months, climatologically speaking. So when you get these storms over that dry desert, you have a lot of sand, dry dirt to work with. And when thunderstorms begin to decay or die, they put out a downdraft, which then lofts the dust up in the air. And early in the monsoon season, which is right now, we're only 3 days in, that's the best chance to see some of these larger dust storms, because you have a lot of dry time and a lot of dust and sand and dirt to work with. Oh, is that downtown right now, or close to downtown?
It looks like it's Elliott Road. So that's the Ahwatukee area. That's exactly what you're talking about. So you were just talking about, hey, look out, there's dust in the Ahwatukee area, and that's where we are on the left. And then Kyrene is on the right. So again, that's right in that same area. Is that the 202? 202 in Kyrene. So that's just a little bit to the east of the Ahwatukee area, right in the Chandler area.
Yeah.
They're getting rain, it looks like. Is that rain, or is that just a optical illusion?
I think it's just a little hazy, right,
Okay.
Lindsay?
Yeah, there are a couple cells. I'm just trying to look really close.
So this would be right at Kyrene. This would be just to the east of South Mountain, southeast of South Mountain. So I didn't see anything on your radar.
No, it doesn't look like there's anything there.
But here we go. You know, I don't know. I'm fascinated by this. I've been in the valley a long time. I can watch these dust video. I can watch the dust video for like hours on end, especially from the helicopters they come through. But it's so interesting to me because it's pretty predictable, isn't it? So right now it's moving north. We're in the Ahwatukee area and Chandler area. It's going to come up, and what's next? You got Tempe. You got Phoenix, Sun Lakes has probably been hit right now. You're probably going to head into the Gilbert area, right? It's going to kind of march through that whole area.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you, here's a look at what's going to be impacted. I have a graphic up that's going to show this whole area of the valley that'll likely be impacted by this dust. You can see downtown Phoenix included. Right now, that dust, here's South Mountain right here. Here's Ahwatukee. It's going to continue moving northward. So South Phoenix, downtown Phoenix, Tempe Town Lake, down through Chandler, Gilbert areas. Those areas are likely being impacted right now, but it'll cross the 60 and then move into the Mesa area. Even parts of South Scottsdale could see this as well. And we're just at the start of this dust storm advisory right now. It was only issued about 15 minutes ago, and it continues through 5:45. So the wall of dust not moving that quickly at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So it is going to be hanging overhead for a while. And then within it, you're going to also see 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts. You saw it was very windy even after the dust passed Gabby down near Maricopa. So the breeze is going to continue keeping that dust aloft in the air.
Gabby was down there. It's like the dust just came and then it was gone. But look at this. So, think about how big the valley is. It went all the way out to Apache Junction. So if you go from Apache Junction to west of downtown Phoenix, that's got to be what, 25 miles?
Yeah.
Something like that? Mm-hmm. And that's how wide this dust storm is coming into town.
Yeah, but Lindsay, it still is a little bit unpredictable in the sense of you don't know exactly, how strong the winds are going to stay as it travels the course of that distance, right? So,
yeah.
It's just kind of a prediction that it may hit, say, places like Scottsdale or North Phoenix, right? But we just don't know how strong that outflow is going to stay together as it moves up northward.
Right, and the further north, like if you're watching us from Anthem right now, there's a good chance that this doesn't quite make it as far north as Anthem and Cave Creek and even Fountain Hills. So those areas likely won't. I mean, it could be reissued at 5:45 to areas north, but time will tell, especially because this is just a dust storm advisory. It wasn't a warning. A warning is when you get the visibility under a quarter of a mile. Okay. That's when it's a little bit worse. This is about 1 mile visibility.
Yeah, Lindsay, are we starting to see our dew points get up into that 50?
Oh, yeah. It's been
range?
In the mid 50s and even some 60-degree readings over the lower deserts all this week. So we have the mugginess in place. We have the available moisture in place. And now after this dust pass, it's going to be a waiting game to see if we have any brand new thunderstorms develop on some of those outflow boundaries.
Because that's what it takes, right? I mean, it takes the heat is the engine, right? And then you're heating up the moisture, and that's what makes all of that so soupy. So I've always felt like when you get these really hot days with a little bit of humidity, that's the engine that creates all these thunderstorms. Can we get that shot up again of the helicopter? That's my favorite shot. Oh, now look at this. Look, Storm Tracker. Where's Storm Tracker? So it looks like we're probably heading south, I would imagine, right? Oh, okay, so we're on I-10 heading south towards Ahwatukee right now. So we're probably in like the South Phoenix-ish area. Oh, no, there's the University of Phoenix building right now. So that is still, that's South Phoenix, I guess is what you call it. And then it's gonna have a curve here coming up.
Yeah, but you can kind of make out there the dust cloud there. It's very shallow. It's not like some of our, major, huge dust storms that are, practically black. But yeah, you can definitely see some of the haziness. And
are you trying to downplay my dust storm?
I'm not trying to downplay your dust storm. I'm just saying it's not one of the huge, when you see those massive ones. I mean, they're practically black and they cover the entire stretch of the valley as they move across. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a baby. If I'm on the freeway and I see that in the distance,
what are you going to do?
Like, I don't need.
You're pulling off right now?
I'm pulling off.
Where are you going?
You can ask one of our photographers. We had a story one day down in Florence and we saw something like that. I was like, I'm done. Get off. I can't do it.
Wow.
I know.
No, that is caution.
I know. I don't mess around.
You know what? Yeah. Well, you know what? And you're a former weather person, you know your stuff.
I do.
Right?
Yeah. I don't take any chances because the visibility can drop in just a second. Yeah. And sometimes it only lasts a few seconds, right? But in that time, you can't see in front of you. You can't see behind you. You don't know if the person in front of you is stopping or not. So yeah, it can be very disorienting, which is why if you do encounter these, it really is best, especially if it's a big one, just to pull off, get off the freeway and, hopefully avoid having to go through that dust storm altogether.
Yeah, and they always tell you, which never made sense to me, to turn your lights off, but that's the way to go because people who run up behind you might think you're moving.
You're moving,
yeah.
Exactly.
And they'll come up and they can hit you, which is no good. Mm-hmm. All right, to the left now, this is I-10 in Guadalupe, again in that same area. So if you go for our storm, is it tracker or chaser? Tracker. All right, so it's tracking, it's chasing, it's monitoring. So if you went straight, if you kept driving for like another, I don't know, 5 or 6 miles, you'd run into what that picture was.
That's a good shot right there.
Yeah, that's the helicopter shot, see?
That's a good shot right there.
Yeah. And it's also interesting to me to try to pick out landmarks and see, where the storm is headed. It's tough for me to see right now. But I would imagine that, again, is in that South Phoenix, Tempe area.
Yeah, and if you're probably, in North Phoenix, Central, and you're able to look down, you can probably see the full stretch of that thing, coming across. Yeah, so it kind of just depends on your perspective, right? Like where you're looking at it from. So that one right there is,
Tempe Butte.
Is that Tempe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can definitely tell it's a little bit hazy up ahead. There. So, Lindsay, you said this is for maybe another 35 minutes or
30
so?
minutes, yeah. Dust
really
storm.
Be on the lookout?
Yep, dust storm advisory until 5:45. Again, that area of dust is moving north, so it originated out near Mesa Gateway, Chandler Fashion Square, and South Mountain, and now it is moving up toward the downtown area, Tempe, Chandler, Gilbert, and even Mesa. And so this is going to be with us. It's kind of a slow mover. It's moving at about 10 to 20 miles per hour due north, which is slower than some of the other dust storms that we've seen in the past. I'm just keeping my eye on some of those storms because this originated from the storms down near Casa Grand, and they are decaying. They're weakening, and that's a weakening thunderstorm is what lofts this dust into the air. It's from a downdraft from a dying thunderstorm. So that's exactly what we saw today. Still trying to see if I can detect some of those outflow boundaries. Still looks like it's crossing South Mountain right now. No rain is imminent, but we will obviously update you if that changes.
Yeah, so storm tracker is hitting the 60 right now too, and almost close to that cloud.
Yeah, we're definitely going to stay on top of this because it is our first dust storm, right? So people may not be expecting it necessarily, may get caught off guard. So we are going to keep watching this. We do have a reporter that is headed down to that south area. We've got Gabriela Becerra, who's out there in Casa Grande. So we are watching this from many angles. Keep it right here. After the break, we're going to link up with our live reporters in the field to give you more on our very first dust storm of monsoon 2026. We'll be right back.